Hello everyone and welcome to Rose Red Homestead and happy Friday. First of all, I would like to thank all of those of you who participated in our Memorial Day book sale. It was a wonderful success and we certainly hope that the books will be very useful to you as you continue to prepare according to what we preach on this channel, which is food security, emergency preparedness, and self-reliance. So thank you again so very much. And because it's Friday, we usually do a recipe on Friday, and lately we have been doing budget meals, and this is no exception. This is a meat pot pie. Notice I didn't specify the meat, and I really could have called it clean out your refrigerator pot pie, because that is in essence what you can do with this recipe. It's a recipe that I have developed, and it is just a basic fill in the blank type of a recipe. And so I'm going to just introduce that to you today. I have literally cleaned out my refrigerator. I have a bag of carrots that's getting a little bit old. These are the last bits of two big stalks of celery. This is a leftover onion. It was a giant onion. I had about half of it left, so it's about the same as a chopped medium onion. This was some sweet potatoes that we used in a video recently to do freeze-dried sweet potatoes. I had these in the freezer. I just thawed half of them, and that's what this is. This is parsley from the refrigerator that we had. And this, I'm proud to say, is my first cutting of our English thyme from our herb garden. It overwintered beautifully. I'm so thrilled. We lost the French thyme and another thyme. I can't remember. I put about 4 different types of thyme in, and we had only 2 of them make it through the winter. But now I know which varieties will come back after a colder winter. Then I am using for the meat today some chicken chunks, and we have a lot of these little packages. They're 3/4 of a cup, or about a half a pound of chicken chunks. These were cut from Costco rotisserie chickens, and we've done a video on these before. But you can use whatever combination of things you like. I could also use ham instead of this because I have ham in the freezer. I have beef chunks in the freezer. You could even use hamburger if you wish. It just needs to be about a pound of cooked meat. And then for the veggies, it's your choice, whatever's hanging around in your refrigerator. I could have used green beans. I have some freeze-dried green beans. I could have rehydrated and tossed them in as well. You could use regular white potatoes. You could put green onions in. There's just a lot of different ways that you could do this. But basically, here's what we do. I am heating about a tablespoon of avocado oil, and then what I'm going to do is put the onions, the celery, the sweet potatoes, and the carrots in, and I'm going to stir fry those until they are at the tender, crisp level, and then we will go from there. All right, putting in the veggies. Now this is about one medium-sized onions and about 3 cups of vegetables. And I'm just going to stir these around until they get part way done. So we will be back soon. So the vegetables are done. I am using a 10-inch cast iron skillet, and we're going to try to also make this a 1-pot meal. And so I'm going to try to do everything right in this pot, right in this skillet. So I'm adding 1/4 of a cup of flour, and I'm going to stir it around and let it coat all these vegetables. Cook that for another minute or so. Sometimes I think cooking things in a cast iron just makes them taste a little bit better. So we'll see how this pot pie turns out. Okay, and now the next thing I'm going to do is add 2 cups of chicken broth. Now I have used bouillon powder to make this. I would have had to open a quart of chicken broth, and I don't have anything planned for the other half of that where I too have used that. So the next thing we're going to do then is just let the flour pull off the vegetables and thicken this to where it's a gravy-like substance. And that's going to take 5 or 6 minutes. So we will be back when we have gravy instead of this slurry. While the veggies were cooking before I added the flour, I also added the thyme and salt and pepper. So the seasonings are in here now as well. So this is now gravy, which is what we want. And I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of flat leaf parsley. You could use the other kind of parsley if you want. In the recipe I called for 1 cup of frozen peas. This is half of a package, what I usually pack in our freezer. I use the other half of these peas for something else, so this isn't quite 1 cup, but it's going to do because I'm, cleaning out the refrigerator. And then I'm just going to add these chicken chunks for my chosen meat. And we're going to stir everything together. So here it becomes very pretty. It has a lot of orange in it because of both the carrots and the sweet potatoes. It's smelling fantastic. I want everything evenly distributed as much as possible. Which I think we have achieved. Okay. Now, so here is our pot pie, and it's just going to go in the oven in this skillet, but it needs a crust. Now you can make your own crust. I could easily do that as well. But in my freezer, I have a number of boxes of puff pastry. I love puff pastry, and there are just times when it is such a wonderful kind of a little bit of fancy addition to whatever the meal is. And if we're making a budget meal, it's kind of nice to fancy it up as much as we can. And so I have taken one layer, that comes 2 packages in there, and I've taken one of the little packages and rolled it out a little bit because it needs to go across this pan. And I'm just going to cut it around the edge here. And I'm just going to crimp it by pushing down on it a little bit all the way around. Nothing fancy, just a little tiny crimp. And I have a beaten egg here that I'm just going to cover the top with. And I'm just going to put some steam holes in it. And this is going to go in the oven for 20, 25, 30 minutes until it is bubbly and until the crust is brown. So we'll be watching that carefully. My oven runs a little hot, so know your oven, and then just bring it out when the inside is bubbly and the crust is nice and golden brown. So we'll see you at that point. This has been out of the oven about 2 minutes. Is it just gorgeous or what? That puff pastry just adds that little bit of elegance or fanciness that makes a budget meal like this very, very eye appealing. So I'm going to get into it. Oh, that crust. Oh my. And we invite Jim over to come and take a bite at this pot pie.
Certainly looks good.
It smells good too. So come on around, honey.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn this around. So I wanted you to see how it's not running. When I cut through it, it's not running into the rest of the pan. So it's holding together, the gravy is holding it together really well. Okay, are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
Are
you?
Yes, you've been.
I've been salivating.
Well, you've been saying how good it's smelling.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's try it.
Okay. That tastes good.
Just good.
I'm not done yet. Your chicken broth is very, what can I say, it's saturated.
The taste is throughout?
Yeah, it is throughout.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the crust? You like the
The
crust?
crust is nice. I need to go back and get the crust because I didn't get any before.
Oh, okay.
So
I found
will
the
go
crust to be
ahead
delightful.
and get some of the crust.
It's nice and moist on the inside. I think this is a great budget meal that we fancied up a little bit with the puff pastry. And every time I make it, it's going to be different because I'll be using different ingredients from my refrigerator. And what a great budget meal this is to be able to use up some leftover things in the refrigerator.
So I'm going to get some of the crust now.
Okay. Oh, you ever.
Truly puffed pastry.
Isn't it great? So do you like it?
I do like it.
Okay.
Yes.
Scale of 1 to 10.
15.
Wow, honey, that is wonderful.
That's out of this world.
Good, good, good. So there you have it from our taste tester. So thank you so much for being with us, and we're going to go finish up the rest of our dinner.
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay, and we'll see you very soon for more videos from Rose Red Homestead.